guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be on how I created this look. I used the Urban Decay palette, obviously the Urban Decay electric palette, and it is my first time using it, so it's kind of like a first impression also. So I wasn't sure on what look I was going to create. I just knew that I wanted to use the blues and purples from that palette. So I came out with this blue, purple, smoky, dramatic eye. I wasn't planning on this video to be a voiceover, but as soon as I was done recording, I looked back at my footage and it was all super staticky. It was really loud static. I'm not sure what it was. I'm pretty sure it was my mic because now I have my mic disconnected and I think it's working fine. I hope it's working fine. That would suck if it's not. Yeah, if you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Looks so cute. So today for primer, I'm going to be using the Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. And this is for minimizing what I need because I have a lot of larger pores around this area and on my nose. So that diminishes the look of them. Let's take this off. It's breaking out. You know how like you can feel when there's a pimple coming? That's what it is. But don't worry, tonight I'll put, like I do spot treatment. I get my Glam Glow mask and I just put it on that spot where I can feel that pimple coming, and the next day it's gone. Okay, now for foundation, I'm gonna be using the NARS Sheer Glow, and this is in the shade Medium 2 Santa Fe. I haven't worn this in a while, so I don't know if this still matches me. I think I got this like last year. I'm kind of a little bit on the pale side these days, so might be a little light. I'm just gonna drag this down my neck because I feel like it is a little too light. So just so it looks like it matches my neck a little. And I always take a long time on my foundation. Never fails. A little bit more coverage on my nose because I have a lot of freckles there. Make sure you blend it all the way to your hairline as well. It's okay if you get it on your hair. You can clean that off later. For concealer, I'm going to be using the Kat Von D Lock-It concealer. This is just a little deluxe sample size that I got. This is in the shade L3 Warm. I actually don't like this concealer, TBH. Just like applying it's dry feeling. I feel like kind of tugs on the skin when applying it. Well, that's just application wise, but I don't feel like it really blends really well. But I'm still giving it a shot, I guess. I feel like I really have to try really hard to blend this out. And coverage wise, I feel like it's really light coverage for some reason. That's just my opinion. Okay, now I'm gonna highlight my forehead a little bit. Now to set this, I'm going to be using my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and I'm just going to take my beauty blender that I've been using for my foundation and concealer, and I'm going to dip that in there like so. I'm going to bake today. I feel like baking because I don't do that in real life. And on the forehead, I like to bake on the forehead as well because I get really oily there, and I feel like whenever I do this, oil doesn't really seep through. And on my nose as well, my nose gets super oily, so I like to put some powder there. I like to put that translucent powder on my nose because, like I said, my nose gets super oily, and then that causes my foundation to like move around and break up, and it looks really gunky and cakey. And if I do this, that doesn't happen. So while this is baking at 350 degrees, you know, something casual, I'm going to start priming my eyes to get them ready for the shadow. So as always, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. This isn't like my favorite, it's just all I have, and I don't know, I don't feel like buying another eyeshadow primer. And it was just like a little sample that I got with some Urban Decay palettes, so it was free. And if it's free, it's for me. I look so freaking cute now, huh? So cute. Mama would be so proud. Don't judge my pinky. I look wretched as F. So now I'm going to set that, and I'm just taking my translucent powder And just any brush, doesn't even matter. I'm just taking this one, like this is the first one that I saw, and so it's like whatever, you'll do today. And I'm just gonna apply that all over. Now to kick all of this bake off, I like to use the Sigma Duo Fiber brush. So just kind of swoop that off. Oh shit, I almost broke my palette. And then whatever's left on the brush, I just kind of go over my face with it. So now to bronze up the face, because we need a little bit of color back in our life, I'm using the Bahama Mama bronzer by The Balm. I used to love this bronzer. I mean, I still do, but like I would use it all the time. And I'm gonna just take my MAC 109 brush, give a little life back into my life. Does it make sense? Give a little bit of life back into my life. I'm not a rapper. You gotta be really careful with this one because it's super pigmented and you have to have a really light hand with it, pretty much. Look, it looks really crazy right now, but don't worry, I will blend it. I barely like dabbed my brush on it. I just remembered, I'm not the biggest fan of this NARS blush. That's why I probably stopped using it. I haven't used it in like a year or something like that. To sharpen up that contour, I'm going to be using my NARS Ita brush. Yeah. And then to really clean that up down there because it's looking a little muddy, I'm going to take my translucent powder and bake under there. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and just blend. So with no additional product, I'm just blending in circular motions to kind of diffuse that product out a little. And I'm going to go in with this brush that we used to kick off the bake. And that really is going to help it blend out. So I'm going to contour my nose and I'm taking my Ita brush. I'm going to pinch it a little, sides, with a really light hand. Because remember, this bronzer is really pigmented. I'm going to contour into the lip. So for my eyes, I don't know if y'all saw like a little sneak peek, but I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Electric palette. I just got this. I'm kind of late on the bandwagon, but it was on sale. It was I think it's $24.99 or something like that, and originally it's like $49. So if you can, pick this up because that's a freaking great deal for all these super pigmented shadows. Well, they're not shadows, they're pigments. So that's a super great deal. And I actually don't know what I'm gonna do today. I just know I want to use all the blues and purples. So let's see how this goes. So I think for my transition color, I'm gonna use this shade Jilted right here. And I'm gonna take my MAC 217 brush. I'm so nervous. This is kind of like a first impressions. Not like y'all haven't seen a ton of these videos before, but all right, here it goes. Scared. Oh my goodness, this is so pigmented. Just gonna brush some on the back of my hand. Okay, well this is turning out more like a pinkish. And see how I'm holding my brush kind of like towards the end? You want to do that so you don't apply so much pressure, especially for your transition shade. You want your transition shade to be light and like really blown out. Do y'all see how pigmented this is? Like I just barely tapped my brush in there and I put some on the back of my hand. I rubbed some on the back of my hand and I'm barely applying any pressure. Drag it out a little. I guess I'm gonna go for like a smoky eye. I don't know. By the way, I just want to say that you're not so even supposed to use this shadow around the eyes. Like on the box it says, important, slow burn, savage, jilted, and urban are not for use around the eye. So I just really want to make sure that this is blended just because it's a super pigmented shadow. I want to make sure that it's not too much since I'm using this for my transition. You can never blend enough. If you think you're done blending, blend again. Now I guess to deepen up the crease, since out of all the shades this purple is like the darkest, I guess I'm gonna do that. Take this EYEBROW Luxe Petite Crease Brush and I'm gonna dip that into the purple, like barely, maybe a little bit more. Tap off the excess because I don't know how this is gonna go. I'm gonna apply this right underneath that transition shade. This is another shadow that you're not supposed to put around the eye. I'm such a rebel. I feel so rebellious. Now for the lid, I don't know. I don't know what blue to use. I don't know if I should use Chaos, Gonzo, or Fringe. Probably not Fringe. I don't know. I'm gonna swatch the purple. So y'all see how pigmented that is? And then I'm gonna do Chaos on the other side. See that? And then I guess Gonzo. Oh. I don't know. I wish y'all could like talk to me right now so y'all could tell me. I guess I'm gonna go with Gonzo. Use a flat shader brush. Here I'm just going back in with that Zoeva brush and using that dark purple color to deepen up the crease a little bit. I decided to go back in with Chaos just to make the lid a little bit more blue because Gonzo wasn't really bright. Here I'm just deepening up the crease a little bit more just because that blue's really dark, so I wanted to give the crease a little bit more dimension. Now I'm just taking a clean blending brush and blending out that transition color just to make the eye look a little bit more blown out. Now for the bottom lash line, I'm taking the color Jilted on a pencil brush and I'm applying that to the lash line, and I'm really going to smoke this out. Now with that same brush, I went in with that dark purple color called Urban, and I'm applying that right under Jilted. Now I'm just kicking off this bake that has been baking here probably a little bit too long. Now I'm going in with this nude eyeliner in the waterline just to brighten up the eyes a little bit more since this is a very dramatic eye. Again, I'm going in with that color Urban in the crease just to deepen it up more, and I've noticed that it's faded a little bit after applying the Chaos colors. And remember, when creating a smoky eye, it's really just a back and forth battle of adding one shade, and once you add one shade you realize that you need a little bit more of the other shades, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm going to be using these Ardell Glamour lashes. Excuse my glue on there, it's getting tacky. Now while that glue is drying, I'm going to apply mascara to my bottom lashes. I'm going to be using the It's Cosmetics Tight Line mascara. And basically the girl told me that it was like a primer. Yeah, it's a 3-in-1 black primer eyeliner mascara. So basically you can get super close to the lash line, and that's gonna make it look like you're wearing liner. It's gonna prime your lashes at the same time. I don't really care for it. I like it for my bottom lashes. So now for blush, I'm gonna be using the Frat Boy by The Balm blush, and it's just like a really light coralish color. And I don't want to do too much of a crazy color on the cheeks because our eyes are super crazy. For highlight, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in that glow, and I'm going to be mixing 2 highlights. I'm going to be mixing Bubbly and Sunburst. For lips, I'm just going to be using this Milani Nude Lip Pencil in the shade Nude. And I'm just going to be lining my lips with this. And for lipstick, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte Lipstick in the shade Venus. So this is the finished look. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time.